Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings for Friday, June 22nd. We have 14 games tonight. This is going to be sort of an early video. I'm recording this 4:50 on Thursday, 4:50 Eastern Time, Thursday afternoon. So these are going to be sort of my early looks of the slate. Got to get this video done early because I have things to do Thursday night. I definitely want to get a video out for Friday's slate. So I've already got my 5 plays plugged in. I'll talk about why I chose these guys. Talk about some of the other pitchers on this slate. We'll go over stacks and BVP plays as well. But before we do get started, make sure you guys drop a like on the video. We'd definitely appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, be sure you do click that subscribe button down below. So that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. But yeah, pitcher today, we have 2 options over 10K. Definitely like one of them here. As you can see, plugged in Sean Newcomb versus the Orioles. But we also have Patrick Corbin getting to face the Pirates, 11,600. Don't have a ton of interest in Patrick Corbin here. Just don't like this matchup. The Pirates don't really strike out a lot. They don't have a high implied run total, only 3.9 runs for today. But this is still a team that doesn't strike out a lot versus lefties. Definitely have some decent bats, some guys that can hit lefties well. I know Corbin had a matchup with the Pirates early on in the year and kind of struggled. And with Newcomb's matchup versus the Orioles, I'd just much rather play him. So I do like Newcomb here. Good matchup at home versus the Orioles team that just is not good this year. They've been striking out a lot. We look at the implied run total for the Orioles. Look at the Vegas information on this game. Orioles only have a 3.5 implied run total. Newcomb pretty heavy favorite at minus 196. So many strikeouts in this Orioles lineup. They're going to be going to the National League, so they're going to lose their DH. Just even a bigger boost for Newcomb. He's 10,500 with that, which I think is a reasonable price tag here. Can definitely pay off this price. Newcomb is a guy that has a lot of upside. Can definitely rack up strikeouts, and in this matchup, the K should be there. So I do like paying up for Newcomb on this slate. Definitely my favorite pitcher out of all the options on this slate. That SP2 went a little bit expensive here with Alex Wood. I love this matchup for Alex Wood, getting to face the Mets. The Mets have been atrocious this year versus lefties. They started heating up lately. They got a matchup in Coors Field these past few days and have been hitting the ball well, but they're going to have the Coors Field hangover here. Leaving Coors Field, going back home to the Mets Stadium, to Citi Field. Not the best hitter's park. So I really like Alex Wood here. I think he has some good upside. The Mets strike out a lot versus lefties, and a lot of their hitters in their lineup are not good versus lefties as well. Guys like Nimmo, Flores can definitely hit the ball pretty well, but guys like Michael Conforto, Mesoraco, Bautista, Rosario, these guys will strike out a lot versus lefties. Zach Wheeler going to be in the lineup as well. Just really like Alex Wood here. I think he has some decent upside. Could easily see him getting 25, close to 30 DraftKings points, and definitely paying off this price tag. So I do like him as an SP2. I think guys in that price range are also in play, though, like CC Sabathia. Haven't been on Sabathia a ton this year, but against the Rays in Tropicana, that Rays team, another offensive team that's just not good versus lefties and does strike out. I think CC Sabathia, definitely an option. Shane Bieber against the Tigers is definitely a play as well, 8,700. I think you could consider Shane Bieber here. And if we are looking like a little bit cheaper, maybe for some value plays like Clayton Richard against the Giants could be an option. Other side of that game, Chris Stratton, probably going to be a popular play because he's at home versus the Padres. Chris Stratton, not really a pitcher I think is very good, but that matchup is a good matchup. So if you want to go cheap at pitcher, if you want to go Newcomb and Stratton, I think that definitely makes sense. And then looking like sub 7K, really isn't a lot I love. Mainly focused like on that 7K and 8K range with Wood, with Chris Stratton, with Clayton Richard. Those are kind of the value plays I see. Maybe even Tanner Roark versus the Phillies you could consider. But I think that is it for pitcher. The pitchers I'm focused on for this slate. So now we will talk about hitters. Got a little bit of Coors Field exposure into the 5 plays, even though I paid up for Newcomb. Got JT Riddle as a value play, Desmond as a sort of a stud option. Then we do have Yonder Alonso at first base. We'll start off with him. Really like Yonder Alonso here versus Mike Fiers. Mike Fiers just hasn't been good this year. Been giving up a lot of hard contact. Just been really struggling all year to lefties and righties. The Indians do have a 5.6 implied run total for today. They are definitely going to score runs on Fiers. You do have some value in this lineup with the 5 through 7, even 5 down to 9. Got Alonso at 3,800, Chisenhall at 3,200, Kipnis at 3,500. There's value in this lineup. There's going to be runs scored. And I really like Yonder Alonso, just a guy that has power versus righties. Fiers a pitcher that's just not good versus lefties. I think Alonso at first base, if you're looking to go cheap there, he definitely makes a ton of sense. And then we'll talk about the 2 guys I like from Coors Field. So first off, JT Riddle, really cheap option. He's only 3,400. JT Riddle's a guy that I don't think is that good of a hitter, but he's cheap. He's in Coors Field. He's projected at 6th. I think the Marlins will score some runs here on John Gray. I do believe in John Gray as a pitcher. I think he's actually pretty talented, but I do like some of these Marlins bats, especially with how cheap they are. With Riddle there batting 6th at 3,400. Even the guys like Bohr, Dietrich, these guys are still pretty cheap, 4,200 and 4,300. Do like some of the cheap value you get from the Marlins in Coors Field. Riddle being a guy I like at 3,400. Definitely has potential to hit the ball into the gap, get a double, get triples. Does have decent speed. So I like him at shortstop for 3,400. Then Ian Desmond, definitely a play I love here. You want exposure to the Rockies today. Wei-Yin Chen, just been absolutely terrible this year, especially against righties. I love Arenado today, and I love Story. It was just so hard to fit them in with Newcomb and with Alex Wood. But if you find a way to get Arenado, Story, Desmond, those three guys, probably all three of them are going to homer today. The Rockies have a 6.9 implied run total. They're going to score runs. The righties are where you really want to go against Chen with Desmond, Arenado, Story, obviously LeMahieu. Chris Iannetta and Cuevas could both be value options. Even though they're batting towards the bottom of that lineup, you're still getting cheap exposure to Coors Field. They're 37 and 3,600. Love the Rockies today. Want to get some exposure, and that's where I think Ian Desmond comes in. A little bit cheaper than Arenado and Story, only 4,900. But yeah, guys, these are 5 early plays that I like for Friday's slate. Sean Newcomb, Alex Wood, Yonder Alonso, JT Riddle, and Ian Desmond. Now we will quickly talk about some stacks and BVP plays before we do get out of here. So the top stack for me on this slate by far is the Rockies. It's just going to be kind of hard to fit them in if you want to play Sean Newcomb and another expensive SP2. But if you go like Newcomb and say Chris Stratton, then you can definitely get some of these expensive Rockies in there. I think the Indians are another team you want versus Mike Fiers. They have a little bit more value in their lineup, especially when you get like 5 down to 8, 5 through 9. A lot of value there. Definitely like the Indians. I think the Braves as well versus Alex Cobb. Alex Cobb really hasn't been good this year. You got cheap bats in the Braves lineup with Dansby, Markakis somewhat cheap. Charlie Culberson, not really a good hitter, but he's only 3,100, projected at 6. You got some good value there from the Braves. Those are really the teams I'm mainly focused on, especially the Indians and Rockies. Even the Marlins too, but Indians and Rockies are kind of top 2 for me. So now looking at BVP plays, we'll quickly go over some of the top BVP plays with a decent sample size. A lot of the BVP plays on the slate don't have that high of a sample, so if you want to look at all of them, you can pause the video. But I'll go over the ones with like a 15, 16 at-bat sample, either that amount or higher. Starting off, Abdul Herrera, 13 for 31 versus Tanner Roark. Yonder Alonso does have BVP versus Fiers. He's 6 for 18. A couple of these Indians have also hit fire as well. We'll go over those. Chisenhall, 4 for 10 with the home run. Yan Gomes, 3 for 11 with the home run. Jose Ramirez, 6 for 16 with the home run versus Fiers. Carlos Gomez, 7 for 19 versus CC Sabathia with the home run. Jose Altuve, 8 for 16 versus Duffy. Marwin Gonzalez and George Springer have also hit Duffy well. Gonzalez is 7 for 14. George Springer, 3 for 12, but does have 2 home runs versus Danny Duffy. Look to like Coors Field, Dietrich's 5 for 10 versus John Gray. He sort of hit him well. A lot of the Angels have hit Estrada well. Albert Pujols, 4 for 10 with the home run. Andrelton Simmons, 6 for 12. Mike Trout, 4 for 10 with 2 home runs. And Luis Valbuena, 5 for 20 with 2 home runs versus Estrada. And then we'll go over these Giants. 3 of them have hit Richard well. Gorky Hernandez, 8 for 16. Andrew McCutchen, 6 for 12 with 2 home runs versus Richard. And Buster Posey, 13 for 32 with 2 home runs versus Clayton Richard. But now looking at PVB, the pitchers that have done well in their matchups. For it to be a 14-game slate, only have one pitcher that's got decent PVB, and that is Dallas Keuchel. He has done well in the past versus the Royals. Royals are only hitting him for a 212 average through 104 at-bats, only 22 hits in those 104 at-bats. Then the pitchers that have done poorly, there's a lot of them. James Shields on here, but he's not a part of the main slate, so we're going to look at up top here with Patrick Corbin. He has struggled against the Pirates in the past. Pirates are hitting him for a 320 average. Not very interested in Corbin on the slate to begin with. CC Sabathia has struggled against the Rays. Rays are hitting Sabathia for a 358 average, 29 hits through 81 ABs. Danny Duffy done well against the Astros. Astros are hitting him for a 326 average through 89 ABs. Marco Estrada has struggled against the Angels. Angels are hitting Estrada for a 326 average, almost a similar PVB as the Angels there, or as Duffy versus the Astros. 29 hits through 89 ABs. And then Clayton Richard, he has struggled against the Giants. Giants are hitting him for a 349 average in the past. The Giants have really hit Richard well. 52 hits, 17 extra base hits, and 7 home runs through 149 at-bats. But yeah, guys, that's it for BVP and PVB on the main slate, this 14-game slate. That is it for this video, guys. Like I said, I'm recording this very early. It's about 5 o'clock Eastern as I'm finishing up this video on Thursday afternoon. So these are kind of my early looks at Friday's slate. But these are definitely going to be guys that I'm playing tonight, even though I'm recording this video earlier than normal. I'll have Newcomb in lineups. I'll have Wood in lineups. I'll have Miami Marlins stacks. I'll have Rocky stacks. I'll have Indian stacks. And I think those guys, Alonso, Riddle, and Desmond, will all be a part of those stacks. So yeah, guys, I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully the video helped you. If you did enjoy, just make sure you click that like button down below. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you do subscribe as well. And like always, if you've got questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and good luck tonight on this slate, guys. Peace.